Hello there everyone and welcome back to Castlevania. In the last episode, we made our way through the dungeons of the castle and defeated Death himself, which was a complete nightmare. But we are now here on the final area of the game, fighting the final set of enemies, making our way to Dracula himself, the Dark Lord himself. Now, I have heard that death is the worst part of the game. Like, I've heard that he's the worst the game gets. But to be fair, seeing how horrible that last stage was, the dungeons as a whole, it wasn't just Dracula. It was the stage as a whole. So I have no doubt that this is also going to be nasty in its own way. I mean, the fact that they're starting with old bosses doesn't bode well. Good of them to give us a rosary while there's no other enemies on screen for the screen nuke to actually affect. I didn't really mean to jump off there. I was kind of trying to get out of the way of the bat, but there we are. So we have figured out at this point that the entire game is basically just a case of figuring out our positioning and our timing. So in that, I get the feeling that the best thing to do with these bats is just to stay out of their way, more so than fight them. That's what I'm going with. I reckon it's probably better to get out of their way and let them get off the screen than it is outright fighting them. Although that one's particularly tricky, seeing as it's starting off below us, rather than in front of us. Like this one, we can just, like, throw an axe, get past it. This one, though, I guess maybe wait for it to kind of come out. But then it fires out the fireballs, so we're going to have to figure that one out. I think the axe is going to be better because it gives us that kind of a little bit of vertical reach, which we don't have with the cross, as much as the cross would normally be better. Maybe it's just a case of running. And then get below him straight away. 100% it's a case of using the stopwatch. The problem is hearts. How are we supposed to get the hearts to keep using the stopwatch? Okay, so that first area, not too bad. No, let's not load it. Let's save it. But the most infamous part of this level, I think even more than the boss itself, is, I think, about to come up, and that's the clock tower. Dude, I would like you to jump back up here. Good. Like that. Because you see, a couple of vampire bats is just a case of figuring out how you're getting above or below them, but the clock tower is where... Oh, you're kidding me. Alright. We'll go for it. Up. There you go. Get up here. First time I've done that. It's apparently such a thing that happens in this game. That's even mentioned in the... what's it called? Even mentioned in the little book that comes with the anniversary edition. Or the anniversary collection. And yet, that's the first time I've done it. All of the way through this game, and it's the first time I've done that. Oh, you stole that from me. Oh, come on, dude. I somehow don't think this is going to go very well, but that was just a case of trying that. Thanks, Eagle. Up here, there you go. Do that. I would have liked that heart, but it's not letting me have it. Whoa, why are you dropping them already this time? That's not fair. I jumped. I definitely jumped. There you go, up here. Right, and this time, let's not go too close to that wall, or else we're going to spawn huntbacks and eagles already. Right, all the way up. Dude, what does it want me to do? Oh, nearly messed that one up. I was very close to the edge there. Right, there you go. Just go for it, dude. You've messed that up for me, Belmont, so you're just gonna have to go for it and take whatever comes our way. Now, I don't really know what the level design is here. Like, I can't really tell what's a platform there and what's not. So, that's going to be very fun. I think even more than trying to figure out the platforming while surrounded by a bunch of huntbacks, this is going to be figuring out where are we even going? When all of the cogs are the same color as the things we're trying to avoid. There you go. Gone eventually. I've had the best luck coming up here just by running straight up rather than like trying to dodge the bones. Right. Oh, come on. Crazy number. So yeah, I'm not saying that the hunchbacks aren't going to be a problem. Like 100% they are. They're just horrible, horrible little things. But I think just as much as that, the problem's going to be even trying to get up there. Trying to find a way around. I don't know why I keep destroying that one. I can't ever pick up the heart. It never gets into a nice enough location for me. Get out of here, dude. Just get out of here. Dude. Okay, good. That was a rosary. Okay, so it seems just as much as the actual enemies, the problem is also the egos that drop them, because they're also damaging. They're just as damaging as the hunchbacks. Oh, you rogue. You rogue, you skeleton, you. Right. I don't want to pick up the knife this time. I think that as much as we have only very limited use of the stopwatch, I think that's going to 100% be more useful than the knife is. I mean, we're in a very, like, vertical location here. Ah, why did I do that? Oh, is it down? Is that it? We go down? There you go. I got no idea where we're going. I got no idea where we're going. I'm just moving any direction at all. Oof. It's just staircases everywhere. You can't tell which one's the real deal. Which one actually takes us forward. Oh, you... Oh. I'll be honest, that one staircase is a bigger problem than everything else so far. Clock tower is easy, it's trying to get into it. It's the real issue. These skeletons jumping around. Right, a knife's better than nothing, as much as I would prefer... Oh, you egos! Okay, you can just drop down from there. Hunchbacks, I hate you. There's no love in my heart for you. Grab that. Look, if you're going to bounce me into safety, that's fine. Just don't knock me into the staircase. Because again, us Belmont's not very agile. We can't handle stairs. Like that. See, it would be good to use the stopwatch in this section, but again, we're so low on hearts for this bit that it's like, I can't really risk it. Can't really. Why are you jumping backwards, Belmont? Why are you jumping backwards? I didn't get you to do that. Nope, that's the knife. I tried to jump over it, but it didn't work. Oh, nope, I mistimed my jump. And then he didn't go down the stairs, he just fell down them. Dude. There, good. Got you eventually. I suppose we can... I'm trying to figure out whether we can reliably just let that skeleton jump towards us, because, like, sometimes he does just give up and jump straight into us. Other times he doesn't. I'm trying to time the jump over that eagle, which is a bit difficult. Oh, come on, you were nowhere near me. Belmont, I swear, stop facing the direction I'm not pointing you. Good, do that. Sometimes they just sit there and let us go for it, and in which case, you know, I'm going to. If you're just going to sit there and take the hit, I'm going to, you know, do the hit. Got over the eagle that time, though. Not that one, though. Let's get, please. It's not going to do much for us, because we're now really in the... Belmont, why are you jumping backwards? I'm not facing backwards. Why do you keep doing it? We can throw up respective projectiles all day, skeleton, but like I can't go down there. You're gonna have to come up here. I'll give you the space for it. There you go. Do as you will. The same way, yeah, it looks like it is best practice to just sit there and let the enemy come for us. By there. Is there any... That would have been a really good whip upgrade if it didn't just fall into the ether. I'm trying to figure out what's best practice here. I think it's maybe to fall down there. And there's just so much on screen. It's like I can't even figure out, like, what is this? Right, go up. There, good. Going up, Belmont. Not side. Right, I don't want to do that clock tower again, but... Do I trust the game to give me something to heal with before the final fight? That's the question. Do I trust them? I do, and if it doesn't heal me, I'll just cut. I'll cut and we'll meet back up here. Right, let's not go into it. Let's try, like, here. Nope. Okay. Oh, this is going to go very poorly. Alright, Dracula, show your face, finish me off, and we'll see each other again in a moment. See, that was quick. Alright. I'll be back. See you soon. Alright, we're back. As you can see, I eventually ended up figuring out what I needed to do there. So I kept my stopwatch, and I ended up figuring out where I needed to freeze each time in order to avoid getting damaged by the enemies. So I eventually ended up getting through it all without getting hit once. Now, of course, we still got damaged by the bat before we entered the room, so we are still a little bit put out from that. Now, the question is, what is going to be the best strategy for Dracula? I don't know, to be completely honest. I know you need to hit his head, but like, how are we dodging the fireballs coming towards us? While doing that is another matter entirely. That's the real question. It is good that they give us a cross here though, so we aren't stuck with the stopwatch, which, from what I can gather, basically stop doing anything against bosses pretty quickly on. I think it might be worthwhile keeping the cross for now, and then replacing it with the holy water at a later point in the fight. I think that's the plan. The question is, at the moment, like, how do we dodge the fireballs? I'm thinking maybe you need, like, very specific placement, maybe? Why am I doing that? I've got a better whip by doing that. I think maybe the idea is you need really specific placing so that the fireball in the volley that he fires, the fireball above you goes above, like, flies over your head, and then the fireball below you goes into the floor. I'm thinking that might be it. I would have liked a big one. I think he only becomes attackable oh, maybe if you're in the air when he throws them, you can kind of trick him. Though that's going to require some practice, that one will. But I reckon we can do it. Especially if we've got the cross. These are all going to be whip upgrades if you don't have them, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. Whip. Money. 1 heart. Could have had a big one. I really don't need points at this point game. I can do without the points. Okay, yeah, again, it's practicing our placement. So that we can get that without letting the count get us. Oof. Oof. Oh, count, come on. You can't be doing that. You can't be spawning on top of me. This seems doable. It seems less random than Death was. Like, Death was horrible because you just didn't know what was coming. Like, you couldn't really guarantee anything in that fight with how the side spawn. They had pretty irregular spawning patterns and stuff, but this seems pretty understandable. It's just figuring out how you're going to play it. It looks like if you're in the right place, you can also jump over the fireballs. Ah, messed that. Oh, Belmont, why are you facing that way? Death, why are you... Dracula, come on. Dude, look at the vampire you're fighting. Don't look away. Stop trying to moonwalk him. He's not going to be defeated by being impressed by your dance moves that aren't going to be invented for another couple of centuries. Look towards the guy that you're firing at. I know your family have been doing this for generations, but they didn't do it by flexing on the guy. Okay, it looks like it's actually pretty generous in terms of jumping over it. It's just jumping over it and also hitting Dracula at the same time that's the problem. I fired my... Oh... Oh, come on! It's because his head becomes invincible a few moments before he disappears. That's the problem. He isn't actually... His head isn't vulnerable the entire time it's on screen. It's only up to a certain point, after which it becomes invulnerable again. And that's not when he teleports, that's a little bit beforehand. Which is great, because I keep firing the crosses and it's just not doing anything. See, like, there. Hit the thing. Didn't matter. Didn't deal damage. Oh, death. See, it kinda grays out a little bit before he disappears. Nope, messed that up. We'll load for the better whip. Reload for the whip. Cross. I'm going to assume the holy water is wanted for the later on in the fight, but I don't know how we're supposed to kind of keep the candle safe until then, you know? Like, if we're firing out crosses. Good? No, not good. I think we got him multiple times there because the cross ended up hitting him. The fireballs are tricky things. I'd like to think that there's a way that you can kind of handle them without having to try and jump over them, because that's requiring very particular spacing that you can't really guarantee you're going to have with a guy that's teleporting around. So I'm hoping there is some way to kind of better our odds there. Because they're so fast. Dude, fire the cross when I do up. Fire the cross. Don't just, like, throw out the whip when there's nothing there. Throw out the cross. Oh, Simon, you've been getting on my nerves recently. You were pretty good for the first half of the game, but as soon as we enter block 5, you've just been doing everything other than what I've been asking you to. It's great when it's like the hardest point in the game and all of a sudden your guy starts moonwalking. I think I might need to finally accept that I need to use the D-pad rather than the analog sticks. I've been avoiding it up until now. Oh, I've messed up now. Oh, come on, dude. Stop faking me out here. Right, I'm practicing a little bit more with the D-pad. I'm hoping that that's stopping me from, like, turning around all of the time. It's a bit late in the game to be, like, having control scheme changes, but there we are. Just have to get used to it. If it gets us more consistently throwing out the items we need, that's only good. I think we're also going to need to accept the fact that we're not always going to be attacking Dracula. Sometimes we are just going to take the hit, and that's that. Okay, even with this, he's still not facing the right way all of the time. Ugh. Ugh. I would save here just to stop burning the time, but I want to get in like an actually good set of drops from those candles before I do that. Dude. Dude. Dude! It's not fair. You can't be doing that to me. Right, if we get a good set of hearts here, I think I'll just pull the trigger and spawn ourselves a little close to him. That's not a good set of hearts. When I say good set of hearts, I mean like all hearts, not sometimes also a crate. Sorry, a score bag. See, I think... Ooh. Why are you facing that way, Belmont? That's not the way I've been... Why? I think it's when he gets damaged. I think he turns around if he's damaged. Also, does the cross hit him even if he's... Okay, no, it doesn't hit him even if he's grounded. A bit of a shame. I think the reason that Simon sometimes just starts facing the other direction is I think it's something to do again attacked. Looks like it kind of turns you around. Right, we're gonna save here now, just to make this all a bit faster. So we're not climbing the stairs each and every time. It's strange, because you gotta kind of jump as soon... I don't know how you're supposed to kind of balance jumping and attacking him at the same time. Maybe I'm being too far away. Maybe, like, trying to hit him with the sub-weapons, it's not worth it. Maybe they're there as, like, a last resort thing. I think maybe I'm being a bit too timid, like, distance-wise. I think I need to be closer. At least I'm going to try it. You know, if it works, it works. I mean, it's kind of working, but I'm not sure, like, it's because of my newfound strategy or whether it's just luck. But that seems promising, just being a bit more forward with him rather than just throwing crosses and hoping for the best. Oh. The problem is the problem with Simon being as slow as he is if Dracula spawns on you, there's not much you can do about it. Like, he doesn't move out of the way fast enough that unless you notice it immediately and happen to be going the right way already, you kind of got to take the hit. That's one hit. He's got like 16 light health though, which is the problem. Maybe the holy water does work on his base form. If you can land it on his head, maybe the holy water does do something if you can get it on his head. I'm not optimistic. It's not doing anything. Yeah, okay. Holy water is not it. Maybe the idea is you jump twice. So, like, you jump as soon as the head spawns for the cross, and then you jump again to get over the projectiles. Maybe that's it. We're going to need all the hearts we can, so... Yeah, like, a little bit delayed on this first hit, because obviously he's still spawning in. Then with every subsequent hit... Dude! See, like, if he spawns on you, there's nothing you can do. It takes just a bit too long. It just takes a bit too little time to really get out of the way. Okay, we've got one hit there. The problem is the projectile. Oh, Simon! Turn the right way, man! Yeah, see, the problem with the projectiles is the travel time. It's so long that his head becomes invincible in the time it takes for it to actually reach the guy. You're a conundrum, Dracula. You're a conundrum. I think we can get him from about a window away, which is great when he's, like, at a window. It's less useful measurement when he's not. Maybe the idea is you kind of go for the whip hit, and then the sub-weapon clears out the fireballs, maybe? Maybe that's the idea. Like, you go for the hit, and then the sub-weapon kind of takes out the fireballs. Dude! You can't do that. You're cheating. You're a cheater, Dracula. You're a cheater. See, it's not perfect though, because unless you have the right spacing, he's still spawning stuff so close that you can't do anything about it. Dude! Come on! The fireballs, they travel so quickly! It wouldn't be so bad if, like, you could get them and then hit him, but you can't. Like, if the fireballs are out, that's it. He's in... you're not going to get to hit him. So, like, what do you want me to do, game? What do you want me to do? See, because it was making the noise as if I'm hitting him. But it's not dealing any damage unless you hit his head. But if you're in the air, then you're just super vulnerable to the fireballs. And I'm trying to throw out my sub-weapon. It's not doing anything. Oh, I think I'll get back to you if it looks like I'm winning or if I can figure out a breakthrough, because this isn't happening. Alright guys, I think I have discovered the strategy. Ignore that death there. I have consulted. I've been on this boss fight for 25 minutes with exactly 0 progress since I last left you guys. The best I've been able to find is a strategy guide that basically explains the timing for jumping over the fireballs. Problem is I found no way to deal with the fact that his head is invincible for half the fight, whether that's because it's teleporting or because it goes invincible before he disappears, so you can't even hit his head. Like, look, hitting his head and is doing absolutely nothing because it goes invincible before he disappears. But effectively, I've figured at least the timing of the fireballs out. The problem is that I can't do anything about the head or the teleporting. So That remains to be seen, and unfortunately, none of the strategy guides on the internet are at all helpful, because it's just like, jump over the fireballs in his head. Well, I gathered that much. That much was obvious. How do I jump over the fireballs, and how do I hit his head when the timing window for doing so, both in the same loop, is basically non-existent? I got very lucky, but that's because there seems to be a glitch where sometimes he'll just take a ton of damage for no reason. Like, you'll hit him with a whip and it'll just do tons and tons and tons of damage. I can't figure out why. See, like that. So I managed to get pretty close one time because I was able to consistently hit his head after that. But why that worked is beyond me. You also can't be in the corner ever, because that happens. If you're in the corner and he hits you, there's nothing you can do. That much is fine. It's actually beneficial, because you have such a short area in which to hit him that your timing is really easy. But actually damaging him is the hardest part. The teleporting, difficult. Dodging the fireballs, difficult. Hitting him, impossible. Because he just isn't taking damage from the hits. Like, look. I'm hitting him over and over again with a whip, and it's just not doing anything. That's like 6 times I've hit him in the head with a whip now, and it's done nothing. That's an entire fight. That's like half of his health bar should be gone there, and it's just not. The holy water is also apparently completely useless in this phase, and the cross is also not really worth it. I don't know what it wants me to do for the, like, hitting him. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? There is no timing. See, that's like the 4th time I've hit him in the head this fight, and it's the first time he's actually done anything about it. This is the difficult part. This is why I've been stuck on this fight for 25 minutes. Because he just will not take damage when I hit his head. And I can't figure out, no one else, reading online, no one else seems to be complaining about the fact that his head's going invincible before he can hit. Everyone's like, oh yeah, just dodge the fireballs in his head. I'm doing that repeatedly, every time. And it's not doing jack. I'm doing it a bit early sometimes, but that's mostly out of sheer desperation of actually wanting to hit something, to deal any damage at all. As it is, what does it want me to do? There is apparently a glitch you can use in the second phase to insta-kill him, which was apparently something to do with a Phantom Bat. A similar strategy was available. I didn't do that with a Phantom Bat, and I don't know what it is, because apparently it's unreliable and doesn't work half the time anyway. But seeing as, like, any sort of damage is unreliable and doesn't work against him half the time, that still might be an upgrade. Belmont, face the right way. See, jumping it's not that bad. But, like, I can't do anything afterwards, because he just isn't taking damage. Like, come on! Why does his head go invincible before he teleports? And I haven't seen him go into a second phase yet. I figured I wouldn't try and do that before I came back to give some commentary, but that means that even if we get through this part of the fight, I still got a whole other phase to deal with. It's like you gotta be right in front of his face. It's like half the whip doesn't damage him. It's only like the handle, if you will, of the whip does anything. I assume the idea is you have to be that close to him to actually get the hit off before he teleports away. But like even that's too far away. Never mind this. Like the whip might reach him, but it's not gonna do anything because it's... I think his body might become intangible when when the cloak is raised. I think his body might become intangible. Just because I've kind of skimmed it a couple of times and it's not done anything. So that's the only benefit. I guess when he kind of comes in and he fires it off, we just really go for it. See, but even that's too far away. That's too far away. That's close enough, but that didn't feel any closer than any previous time. Got a little bit excited. Didn't move enough. He wasn't doing that for a while, like the whole teleporting into me. He wasn't doing it for a while, but I think that might just be because I was moving more. So I was getting out of his way before he could. But like, this is it. This is the most infuriating part. The boss fight wouldn't be that bad if his head was vulnerable for like 0.2 seconds more each attack. If that was it, that was the only change. It was vulnerable for like 0.2 more seconds. This would actually be a fairly decent, you know, a fairly, dare I say, easy fight. But it's just not. I just can't do anything to it. Unless I am inside of him at the time. If this is the game that people are saying is like just right tough, and then Dracula Castlevania 3 is when it gets like unfair, I don't think I even want to know what that game's like. Come on! Just take the hit, dude! There is a timing thing, it seems, that can kind of trick him into being in range of your whip. But, like, it's not consistent. And it's very dangerous on my end. And it still isn't working half the time. He's still not taking damage. But come on! I'm not sure whether his head is supposed to go vulnerable beforehand, because, like, if I leave him to it, I mean, it does kind of do it, but it doesn't look the same. And the damage sound is coming up, but it's not dealing anything. It's infuriating. I realize I'm probably just coping, but, like, it's really, I've been stuck here for so long. And it just doesn't feel right. Like, the timing involved is ridiculous. If you imagine this at the end of, like, days and days and days getting through the rest of the castle. And if you die, you reset to the start of the stage. It just doesn't seem real that the timing can be this strict on hitting the head. Like, I can understand the teleporting. I think there is a system to it. I think he does kind of teleport on you. So if you move around in the right way, he can't do that. And the hitting his head's not that bad. It's just hitting his head and actually dealing anything to it. See, so what changed that time that made it vulnerable, but every other time, where I've hit him at this kind of the same time in his attack cycle, it's done nothing. Is it just such a minute change in time that it's not even recognizable, or what? And, like, I'm trying to do it so that as soon as his cape opens, I'm attacking. But the problem with that is if you do it too early, then he just fires the fireballs up. Like that. So you can't, it's not like you can preempt it or anything. It's not like you can figure out how long the attack takes and just hit it at the right time. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. If he will react if you try and time him out. Ah, dude. There you go. Like, I took way longer there than I did with any other fight, so what changed that time? Why was that okay? Why wasn't that okay? Why wasn't that okay? Why wasn't that okay? Like, come on, man. What am I supposed to do with this? Oh my god. Right, one more fight, and then I'm going back on the internet to try and figure out what's going on. There we go. It's like you gotta hit it at a very specific point in the jump. It feels like it's less to do with the head and more to do with the jump. But even then, the differences have to be so small I can't recognize it. Guys, I'll be back in a moment. Half-hour check-in. Things haven't got much better. I still haven't seen Dracula's second form. I don't think I've even gotten through 2/3 of his first phase health bar yet. I think I figured out the timing, more or less, but it is so strict that I find it very hard to believe that we're going to be able to get the full 16 hits in without something going wrong at some point. Well, on account of the fact that I've been here for half an hour doing this and everything's failed. I went online to have a look at what other people were saying about the boss fight. Basically, yeah, he does teleport pretty much immediately after he fires off the fireballs, so the timing is that strict. I've seen a couple of people say that the timing on the Anniversary Collection seems to be a bit tighter than it was back on their original NES. Maybe I'm just coping or something, but it does seem like the timing on the Anniversary Collection is particularly narrow, particularly strict. But effectively, you have to be right in front of his face. You have to be so close that the fireballs clip into you. And you have to do that 16 times. Without something going wrong. Sometimes you can get lucky and something like that can happen. But for the most part, it's just like crazy strict timing. And hope nothing like that happens at any point, because if so, then, you know, that's however much health gone for the next fight. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, well, there you go. There's the second phase. It took that long. It took me... I'm on nearly 2 hours on this one stage alone, and almost all of that is on Dracula. More than an hour of that is on Dracula. And that's the first time I've seen even his second phase. But that's how long it takes, like, of that near perfect timing. And then, like, I can't repeat that. That's like, that was a superhuman piece of work, that first attempt. I don't even want to know how little time you have to get the hit in. But yeah, that holy water is absolutely necessary for the second phase. I've given myself a bit of help because I saw someone say that you can go and farm the candles entering the arena to get yourself like a triple shot and stuff ready for that second phase. But again, that seems like a pipe dream having to even think about that. Because this first phase is giving me so much trouble. Again, we've reached a point where jumping over the fireballs isn't that hard. It's just how close you have to be to Dracula for the hit to count. That's the only thing that's making that difficult. Jumping over the fireballs anywhere else in the arena, I've done it so much now that it's just completely second nature. But being that close to him, like, you know, it doesn't matter how skilled you are at the game. It's so close and the timing is so precise that, you know, you're going to get hit sometimes. That was lucky that he didn't spawn on me. It's lucky that he spawned to the side of me there. That's not so lucky. See, because I felt like that was going pretty good, but he's so tanky that even that was not even, like, close to half his health bar. Never mind draining him completely. Yeah, cross... not really useful, to be honest. Maybe in, like, what the devs intended, it was worth something, but in reality, the timing is so precise that you just can't throw it and expect to hit him. I mean, you can barely whip him and expect to hit him, but, like, the cross is another matter. It's not even worth thinking about the boomerang, the cross, whatever you want to call it. Holy water is completely useless. It doesn't do anything in this phase. It's only in the second phase that it does anything. I messed up the timing on that. Oh! I'll be back in another moment. Hope you enjoyed the half-hour timing. Probably be back in another half hour. Okay, never mind. I think we got him on this one. Maybe. Now, we are on one hit, so don't expect that to work, but... Oh, that's just as bad. That's just as bad. That was actually the attempt that I said I'd leave you and see you in another half hour, but for real this time, probably end up seeing you in another half hour. Alright everyone, I am not happy to admit it, but it has been 45 minutes since the last time I spoke to you, and believe you me, I have never raged at a boss fight in a video game as much as I have against this. This son of a gun, Dracula, he can go die in a back alley for all I care. This is killing me. Like, genuinely, my neck's crooked, and I can't do anything about it because I'm just stuck here fighting him. Nothing's changed. Like, strategy's identical. Literally all I can do is exactly the same thing. It's the meaning of insanity over and over and over again. And just hope that this time he actually goes down. I've gone very close again back into his second form a couple of times now, but it hasn't materialized. I've gone to like 1 or 2 blocks of health left on him, but I've never just put the final thing down and just got him into that second phase. Not that I think I'd actually beat him in the second phase, mind you, but I would at least like to see it. I'd at least like to see the variety in the scenery, you know? This is it. This is all I've seen and heard for the last 45 minutes. Since I last talked to you, never mind the half an hour or so plus prior to that. There's just nothing to do. There's no strategy. Like, this is the strategy. This is it. This is as optimized as it can be. I just need to physically be better. And that seems to be physically impossible. Like, this is beyond superhuman. Oh! Just kill me. Just kill me, dude. Please. Just get me out of my misery. Yeah, there's nothing to add. I'll be back. I'm not going to give it timing. I'll be back when I'm in the second phase. Okay, I'm gonna levy with you guys. At this point, I have been stuck on this single level for 3 hours. I have spent more time fighting Dracula than I have playing the entirety of the rest of the game. I am so desperate at this point that what I am going to do is on this fight, every single time I land an attack without being damaged, I'm going to save so that I can just get through it. Because at this point, I don't care about the purity of the experience or the sanctity of the original game design or anything else like that. I just need Dracula to die. Because I am genuinely going insane fighting this. Hearing the same single song over and over and over again. I have seen the second phase 3 or 4 times. I have just been fighting this single first phase just over and over and over again, and I cannot do it anymore. So every single time I land an attack without being damaged, I'm going to go and save my game and continue on with the fight from there. So he'll have 15 health, and then 16 health, and so on and so on. I know it's not how the game is supposed to be played by any respect, but at this point, I can't even think about how to do the strategy I'm supposed to do. I've completely lost my mind. Dracula, please just let me get a hit on you after I've said this. Dracula, please just let me land a hit on you. We have gone like an hour and a half of me doing this perfectly. Why is it now that I'm back on camera that you're doing this? Please. I'm genuinely at the point where I'm begging a game to go easy on me. Right. Why are you firing it so high up? Genuinely, I cannot express this enough. I have been doing better than this for the last 3 hours. I promise you. It isn't all like clever camera trickery or anything like this. I have genuinely figured out the strategy, and all of a sudden now I'm on camera again. It's gone. Dracula, please. 1 hit. Right, there you go. Hit confirmed. Save. You give it a second. You move a tiny bit. Boom. Save. I don't even care anymore, Dracula. I just want this to be over. And if this is how I need to do it, that's fine by me. It's beyond cheap, but I have been brought to this level by you, okay? You have no one to blame but yourself. Why am I facing that way? I've been driven to the brink of madness, and this is what I've been reduced to. I hope you understand that, Dracula. I really do. I mean, his spawns seem to be consistent at this point, so I wonder how the spawning, the teleporting system works, because he's consistently teleporting to the same spots. I know it's based somehow on where you are, because every guide I've seen is like, you gotta wait 1 second after landing a hit before you start moving again, because that'll stop him from like teleporting onto you. But beyond that, I don't know, because obviously there's times where he teleports quite a bit further away from you, so there's got to be like some sort of algorithm to maintain some degree of interest. Save it. See, the thing is Dracula in this game isn't even hot like he is in every single other Castlevania game. He looks like a creepy old pervy man. I'm doing the world a favor with this. In the time it has taken me to get to this stage of the fight, it has gone dark outside. Hours have passed. I had meant for this to be like a quick, or a somewhat quick little thing while I went and scripted my next video, and it's just devolved into this. I don't know why I'm struggling so much with this one particular spot. Right, we're going to teleport this, go this way that time, because clearly continuing forward wasn't working. There we go. There you go. Another hit confirmed. 3 more attacks. And apparently we want to get him while he's on the edge of the arena. Well, that's not a hit where we needed it to be. Was technically a hit, but again, only damage to the head counts. That's what's made this so difficult, because you just keep landing. I have to be right next to him to be able to land an attack in time. Save it. And seeing as we're like 1 hit away, we're going to go and wait until he's in the corner of the arena. Oh, no, okay, this time he's just going to spawn directly on top of us. That'll do. Okay, I don't really know what we're doing here. It just feels like I'm throwing things out. But at least we're in a position where we can see it sometimes now. So apparently the strategy is you throw holy water at it. That'll get you like 2 hits on the head. And now kind of like pause it long enough. And then if you kind of crouch down, it'll do like a super jump, which should let you get under it, unless it bounces off the arena wall. But finally, it's like something new to talk about. you know, I'm not just banging my head against a vampire-shaped wall. I'm fighting against a weird, horrible gargoyle cookie monster thing. Weird as it looks. Oh, you fainted me out there, Dracula. Fair enough. You fainted me. It's not going to be enough. I'll get you. Just you wait. Just you wait. Oh. Oh, it's over. Oh my god. Oh. I cannot express to you how long that took me. Like, the depths that I went to fighting that guy. It cannot be overstated. I am looking at my OBS, and it is... There you go. I'm looking at my OBS. I just got a Epic Games achievement for that, because I got this for free on the Epic Games Store. I'm looking at my OBS recording, and it is saying that I spent 3 hours fighting that guy, fighting Dracula. But it's over. There's no way I'm going to be able to keep the original recording of this on my hard drive. It's going to take up too much room. I'm going to have to do the edited, trimmed down version that I use for the episode. That's still going to be ridiculously long. But it is at the very least not 3 hours long. These are all references, this kind of sort of semi-credit sequence, to different people related to the classic Universal films, like composers, whatever. Also, the Belmonts were called the Belmondos in the early days for some reason. But, yeah, so they're all based on classic Universal directors, composers, producers, all that sort of thing. Because back in the day, Konami didn't let their designers use their actual names for who knows what reason. But my god. It's over. We can move on. Before we do, I'll give you a little showcase. A little kind of sneak peek at what we're going to go through next time. It's another classic, but this time it's from the Sega side of things. And it features a familiar blue face. It features a familiar blue face. So, I'm going to bid you adieu for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Tune in for the next playthrough. And adios. Ciao. It's over.